Welcome back. I always fear being London-centric, but even strangers to the British capital may be familiar with the style of its map of the Underground. The design by Harry Beck, published 90 years ago in 1933, made intelligible how to navigate the complex system. But it created in our minds a rather misleading image of London's shape. For example, the south of the Thames is very sparsely represented on the tube map, and the schematic layout, which was based on a wiring diagram, gives little sense of scale. Over the years, the map has undergone numerous updates, but its core design has remained. Dr. Maxwell Roberts is an international authority on schematic map design from the University of Essex, and you're with me now. How well do you think this 90-year-old map has stood the test of time?
It's stood the test of time in terms of the way Beck designed it, has sort of continued in London longer than any other map around the world. In terms of attaining Beck's wonderful early design creation, maybe it's not weathered quite so well.
And why do you say that? I mean, I have a feeling that in particular the addition of the Elizabeth line has proved to be a terrible challenge to the map changes. It doesn't look quite as, I don't know, all of one piece as it used to.
It's rather crushed up and squeezed into a small space. The thing is that when Beck designed his map in 1933, East London ended at Bow, and today's map, the pocket map, is exactly the same size, but there's 200 extra stations to fit on it.
Extraordinary thing. Tell me a little bit about the human drama of Beck, because supposedly he was very badly overlooked. Is that true?
It is. I mean, he was a very meticulous worker, but he was working in an unofficial capacity. He was never an official map designer for London Transport. And in the 1950s, he created a design which they fully supported, which really distorted the geography of London a lot. It had all sorts of strange things on it, like Upminster right next to the River Thames. And then new blood came in, Harold Hutchison, who was the new person responsible for these things. And he decided that he would rather have a go himself rather than go to Beck. It was a very personal decision. And because Beck wasn't actually employed by London Transport, he was working in a college lecture at the time, he was sort of just out of the loop, and he didn't find out about the new map until he saw it on sort of stations. And yes, and by that, once he reached that point, an outsider with a replacement, he was lost.
Although I believe modern maps bear tribute to Beck, don't they? They say based on an original design by Harry Beck.
They do, but I'm not sure that Beck would be entirely happy with that. I think Beck designed his map with a certain way of thinking, which is you can't really see on today's map. That, you know, Beck approached map design in a certain way, a certain level of meticulousness, trying to get things right, trying to get things good. And he might say, well, hang on a minute, the people who designed this map, maybe I wouldn't have done it like that.
Do you ever think that in the modern age you could do better?
Yes, I think there's lots of people who think they can do better, but part of my job is to actually test my claims. But yes, I think the current map was introduced in 2001.
You're being too modest. I know you produced a map. I was setting the question up for you. Let's have a look at the map that you produced.
Okay.
And talk me through it. Why is your map different and better?
It's simpler line trajectories. The whole point about making a schematised map is it's got to be a simplification of reality. If you turn the twisting, complex curves of reality into a mass of zigzags, you've not simplified reality, you've just changed the shape of the complexity. So I've straighter lines, and it's more geographically accurate. You know, any person at Acton will tell you that the Underground map's a complete mess in their area. Acton Main Line is north of Acton South. It's this map's more geographically accurate, and it's showing the walking interchanges more convincingly. If you know the current map advertises easy walking distance interchanges between stations, but some of them are a long way apart. They've got long lines connecting them. So I've tried to combine both aspects of design, of effective design for maps, you know, simple line trajectories without distorting geography.